Alright guys, let's take a look at BGB or Bitget Token on the channel for the first time since this candlestick right here on May the 23rd. Now let's look at this on a weekly time frame first. I just want to kind of zoom out and show you things here. And basically this is just one big giant bull flag, and it's finally broken out today. Now let's put this on a daily time frame so we can zoom in a bit here. Now yesterday it did have quite a day, and it broke through this $4.65 weekly time frame resistance, which has now probably become support. But again, let me go ahead and reiterate, these green lines are weekly supports and resistances, and we're looking at this on a daily time frame. But the longer the time frame over these resistances, the better. So let's see, we have blown through $4.70 on a daily time frame, $4.79 on a weekly time frame, $4.90 on a weekly, $4.97 on a weekly, and now we're working on a daily time frame resistance at about $5.06. So we are several cents above that, which is very good. We've been as high as about $5.50 today, but basically I would say this was probably the main rejection right here at about $5.40. Now after that, if we can get above that, the next resistance is at about $5.97. So there's a big gap right here, guys. It's about what? Let's say about 60 cents, about 55 cents. And the breakout target of this bull flag is sitting all the way up here, guys. Look how high this goes. This actually goes up to about $9.50. So let's see what happens. I'm not saying we're going to $9.50 immediately, but that's the target, guys, and we have to get through a lot of resistances before we get there, though. Before I go a little farther in this video, guys, we do have a sponsor for today's video. It's MEXC here. You can get a $1,200 futures bonus giveaway, and you can get a $30 USDT futures bonus each. Now, scan the QR code here, pause the TV, whatever you have to do, but scan it and get your bonus, guys. Now looking at the entire trading history here, guys, the point of control sits down at about 23 cents here. There's really no point in looking that low, so let's kind of zoom in here because it doesn't really make sense to look that low. We need to look at this area only. And the point of control, we have just really gotten above that. That sits at about $4.68 here on this local area. Now, we are just about to get through this candlestick here. We are trying very hard. Now, it's going to take, I think, getting above about $5.20. And then we kind of have this lower volume area right here. And then we kind of have a little bit bigger candlesticks, but these are not that big when you're comparing, this area here. So it's not like a huge mountain to climb. It's probably more like a hill, I would say. But basically, when we can get above about $7, let's just say 20 cents, we're going to rock it. Now looking at the Bollinger Bands here, we don't really have a pinch anywhere in this area on the weekly time frame. Let me take a look at the daily. Now, we do kind of have a little bit of a pinch here, but still, it's not really that much of a pinch. There's actually probably more of a pinch here where you see it's clearly coming down, and this line is clearly coming up, but it is a little bit more narrow over here, I would say. But, this run here is not due to any Bollinger Band pinch, I would say. Now, taking a look at the RSI and stochastic, the blue line has just crossed this red line. It's very oversold. Now, the RSI has just been kind of flat. It's avoiding becoming overbought here, but it is starting to curve to the upside. So let's see what happens maybe next month. Maybe it will be a little bit overbought, but it can run much higher, of course. Now, this is a very slow time frame as well. It's the monthly. Now, the weekly time frame, it is coming up pretty heavily here on the stochastic and the RSI, so that actually looks pretty good as well. So both the monthly and weekly, which are longer time frames, look good. Daily also. Now it's getting a little bit close to being overbought here on the RSI, but it still isn't. It can still run higher. Now stochastic also going up pretty heavily, so all longer term time frames look excellent here. Now the 4-hour time frame, little bit overbought here on both, and the stochastic is coming down, unfortunately. The 1 hour, let's take a look here. It is actually oversold, but this blue line looks like it wants to cross that red line to the downside again. RSI is trying to avoid becoming overheated here. So this actually isn't too bad, at least on the 1 hour time frame, I would say still. Now the 15-minute time frame, a little bit overheated on stochastic. Blue line probably about to cross this red line to the downside. RSI is very flat here. So anyways, the longer term time frames, monthly, weekly, and daily, all look pretty good, guys. Maybe in the short term we do get a little bit of a reset here. For me personally, let me put this on a 4 hour time frame. This, still has about 3.5 hours to go in this 4 hour chart, and still on the daily there's still another 3.5 hours as well. But I don't expect to break $5.15 so easily. So I think we do need a little bit of a cool off, and then we need to try that next run to the upside. Now jumping over to the MEXC here, it's actually never seen a red period on the monthly time frame, which is interesting. So we do have light green here, but I do expect this probably to start coming back up here. Now the weekly time frame, let's take a look. Actually, it's been in a red period for a while. So yeah, it does look like this blue line is about to cross this red line. So that's actually pretty exciting, guys. And this is a very small light red candle. So I do believe we're going to start seeing these waves of green here shortly, at least on the weekly time frame. Now the daily time frame, yeah, starting to get a green candle once again. So yeah, there was about 5 red days here, but this blue line yesterday has just crossed the red line to the upside. So guys, momentum is to the upside on the long term, with BGB here. Now let's go back to CoinGecko here, and you can see that this is the number 36 coin. This is huge. To be number 36, this is a very, very big coin, guys. So we're only up about 8.5% at the moment. That's not that big, but today it was up a little bit more, and I just know that I hadn't done a video on it in a while, so that's why I'm looking at it again. Now the max supply is still 2 billion, and they do coin burning. So there's a circulating supply of 1.1, let's say 4 billion at the moment, and who knows when they announce the next, burn. But anyways, let's go down. The all-time high is $8.45. That was about 8 months ago. So you're getting about a 40% discount at the moment. So that's pretty good. It's not that far from its all-time high. And if you picked it up down here at about 1.5 cents 5 years ago, excellent buy, guys. Now you can see if I go up, my average is actually, it says negative here, but that's actually not correct. I bought most of my coins though between about 30 to 40 cents, I would say, maybe even 45 cents. So my average is super low. I have made a couple of, trades, of course. I have sold this and bought it back. So my average is probably even maybe less than 35 cents, I would say. Now jumping over to Bitcoin here, you can see it's having a nice day. It's 111.283. It does need to break 112.450 on a daily time frame next. However, to be bullish on this again, I think it needs to get above this green line here, plus break this resistance. So let's see what happens in the next few days. We do have a lot of economic data coming out. Now also, we do have this CME gap here, and it's about $2,625 still. And yeah, it's to the upside. So that's actually a good thing for us. Usually 98 or 99% of these gaps get filled. And we don't have any gap to the downside. We didn't create a gap really over the weekend. And yeah, this is something that we really have to look forward to. Ethereum, on the other hand, does look a little bit weaker, guys. Unfortunately, it's resting right on $4,300, and we have hit this support several times in the last few days. So this is not good in my opinion. I hope we're able to hold this. Right now we're falling under this. The next support would be about $4,267, but on a daily time frame. So you can also see where we got rejected today. Now, these lines are never perfect, like I always say, guys, but basically $4,419 on a daily time frame rejected us. Now, total market cap is starting to go up a little bit, so we have gotten rejected at the $3.8 trillion mark on a daily time frame. but we have crossed a couple of resistances, like I said. Now, if we go to the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, it did get support at 1.51 trillion here on a monthly time frame, and next resistance is 1.62 trillion on a weekly time frame to break. One ugly thing here is looking at the Bitcoin dominance here, but we still have 5 days and 4 hours on this candle. It's still pretty early in the week, guys. Last week, we retested these two lines. We got a huge rejection, and let's see what happens this week. Maybe it makes a little bit higher wick, which again is not good either. We do want to stay lower than this wick, but maybe it, goes a little bit higher, gets a big rejection, but we have to be patient. We have to see what happens from Sunday to Monday. And not panic. Now, the USDT dominance, this is actually going down. So people are putting their money back in crypto. However, we did break this trend line to the upside, and we broke this 4.31% to the upside last week. But let's see what happens this week. After that, we do have support down here at 3.8, which we haven't gotten to yet. But I do believe we will get there, soon enough. Despite dominance going up here, the altcoin season index has remained the same. So it's been stuck here for a couple of days. Not sure why it's stuck here, but I guess it will probably fall when they update it. Now, liquidation heat map in this form, 443 million have basically been wrecked in the last 24 hours. That's pretty elevated in my opinion. Now, if we look at the liquidation heat map like this, there is a little bit of liquidity down here below us and also above us, but what will Bitcoin trend towards next? Who knows? It's hard to say. Maybe it goes up, hits this, and then comes down and gets this. Maybe it trends down first to about 109,900, let's say, before getting that bounce. But yeah, we have to be patient and just watch. Zooming over to the fear and greed here, we have 49 today, so this is neutral. Yesterday was 46 in fear. Now the next update is in about 3.5 hours. If we take a look at the bull market peak indicator, sell at the top, guys, it's still 0 from 30 have been hit. The best indicator is about 57% progress, we can say. So if we go there and we look at this, we do need these two lines to cross on the pi cycle top indicator, and that has not happened yet. But if we go back, guys, and we look at this list, almost nothing is really close to 100% progress. And some of this is, a little bit stupid in my opinion. Some of these indicators, like for example, MicroStrategy's average Bitcoin cost, like can that really be an indicator? But anyways, there's a few in here that I would just throw out. But in my opinion, best one, pi cycle top indicator, it's only a little bit more than halfway through. Now, the economic calendar for tomorrow, we do have factory orders, we got JOLTS job openings, and we do have one FOMC member speaking. So be ready for that tomorrow, but it won't be too volatile, I would say, just due to this data. Now, if we go to MUDIX, actually, we did have a pretty negative day today, and yeah, the sentiment is still risk on, but this is fading, unfortunately. So let's see, what happens the rest of this week. We do have a lot of other economic data coming out Thursday and Friday, and if we look at the FedWatch tools, there's still a 92% chance that we're going to get that quarter point cut. Trueflation is showing about a little bit more than the 2% inflation today. It did go up slightly here. If we go to crypto bubbles, looking pretty good today. Actually across the board, hour, day, week, month, and year. So I like seeing this. Now, Coinondo isn't really working so well once again. But if you want to go to Coinondo and check out some of these, deals that they have for staking, you can. Maybe it will work for you, but when I go to the earn here and I do type in something, for example, let's just say Tron, TRX, nothing pops up here. So I have to actually go down to the list, for example, and they do have coins here where they have about 100 coins. So I'm just not sure why this browser isn't working, possibly. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later maybe. But yeah, check that out. And anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with friends, check out those deals that I have below in the description. I don't just have partnerships with MEXC, but I also have others. And guys, I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.